Because the assistants do everything.
That's right.
Igor's the true star of the movie.
Igor's the true star of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Second bananas everywhere rejoice.
Mm-hmm. You are my Frank.
TV's Frank?
You are my TV's Frank.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, TV's Frank is awesome.
Why don't you come into our monster ball?
Welcome to Monster Vault. This is Ripley Stonebrook.
Hi.
That's Crandall.
Hello.
Hey. This is the podcast where we talk about monsters and rank them
Yeah.
with scores.
Very important.
Our first series is Universal Monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, etc. I'm not sure what the etc. is going to be yet. I think we're doing Creature from the Black Lagoon. But anyway, for each one of those, say the Frankenstein series that we're working on now, we will do 4 different episodes. Kitty! Yes. Kitty! Okay,
Say
be that
hello.
way.
Oh, she was nice.
For this series, we will do 4 Frankenstein-type monsters, compare them and rank them, and see who is the winner, and then put them up against the rest of the Universal monsters.
And this is episode number 4 of the Frankenstein Monster
The
series, so
ultimate
yeah,
episode.
it is.
Not penultimate.
Very exciting. I'm very glad everyone is here to join us and to see which Frankenstein type monster. Sorry,
Kitty's
the cat
here.
just attacked me.
Kitty! Aww.
Ow, ow, ow. I mean, I love you.
You're so wonderful. She's been in the background a couple times, but usually she doesn't get involved. I don't know why she's so, hello today.
So, hello.
Hello. Yeah, and this is, I think, officially the longest podcast we had, because the last one made it 3 episodes. It's like Shrieks and Creeks and that Dracula book game, maybe? I think we did like 3 episodes of nonsense, and then it just didn't work out. So this is officially probably going to happen. If you guys are hearing this, it happened. Wow.
Congratulations, everyone. You're welcome.
Housekeeping. You can find everything Monster Vaulty over at the website, spookyroomproductions.com. That's where you'll find the show notes for the show, and lots of other funky stuff that I'm working on here at the Spooky Room. Because we do a lot more than this. This is like our side hustle of our side hustle.
Yeah, come on.
Spooky Room is the side hustle. This is the side hustle of the side hustle. But it's fun. We love it. And social medias. I have a Facebook thing, but I don't really do anything on it. So the best place to find me is Instagram. Ripley Stonebrook. RipleyStonebrook. That's me. More upcoming stuff. The art show is coming November 5th at the St. John Arts Center. We are in St. John, New Brunswick. I guess we might as well be fessing up about that because the art show is going to be there.
Yeah.
We should have a flag like right here. If it didn't cost like $80. Because I checked.
A flag saying what?
What's that?
What is it?
The St. John flag.
Oh, the St. John flag.
The St. John flag. Because that would be great. I'd love to hang that, but yeah, $80. No. St. John Arts Center, the art show will be a study of Concordia, which is the new investigative horror role-playing game coming up from Spooky Room Productions, now that I'm not doing Lair of Sword and Sorcery. And, yeah. What's the cool thing about that, Crandall?
What's not cool about that? Like, what a strange question.
I mean,
Everything
about
is cool about that.
What do you call it? Charity bit. Well, every painting will be on sale for $300, and half of that will go to support a chair for a junior high school age student to take free art classes at the art center. Fantastic.
And they will be encouraged to draw monsters if they so desire.
Well, I encourage them. That might not be part of the curriculum, but I encourage them to draw monsters.
Because, I don't know, as people who may be listening who have grown up and always loved monsters and kind of we're always discouraged in that love. Just know that, Rip's trying to...
I want you kids out there who don't think you can get to take art classes, to draw monsters and horror and scary things. You can do it.
Yeah.
Do it, kids. Do it.
There you go.
Yeah. Why not do it? And on Concordia, the role-playing game, still working along on the tours and brochure. Guess what? A lot of the art is going to the art show right now, so I'm not really illustrating the brochure. But Crandall is editing the next part. Ghost House, the solo adventure, I think. He started editing that.
Yep.
Woohoo! You guys will see that maybe December. We'll see. We'll see. So we're doing The Kindred, which is a horror movie, and we're doing Frankenstein type things. And I want to pick another Frankenstein, and I was originally going to do the homunculus, but it didn't have a movie. There's no movie for the homunculus. It's just like...
That's bizarre. I mean, maybe you're not looking in the right place.
I mean, there actually is like a couple of ones that came out like in 2019, but I was like, if it didn't happen in the 80s, I'm not really into it. So in the past couple of years, there have been, I think, a couple of homunculus movies, and I think even a couple of Golem movies. I'm like, no, nothing new. No, that would require me to pay money to go see it. No, thank you. So yeah, I decided to go with this one because it's a Frankenstein type movie, but the Frankenstein mad scientist who created the monster was a woman. I think what her name was. It's the mother in the movie. But yes, a woman made a horrible monster. In 1986, The Kindred. And we start the movie off with like a bit of business with like an ambulance and blah, blah, blah. And some other mad scientist who worked with her is getting bodies. He's doing horrible experiments. You see some gory stuff. But then you see the mother, and she tells her son, you have to go back to the cabin. She's woken up from a coma. And,
yeah, she's in the hospital.
Yeah, she was in the hospital.
See, we watched this
She was in a
together
coma
last
for a
night.
while.
So.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen it in a while.
And I'd never seen it. Go ahead.
And she's telling him, you have to go and destroy the experiments. He's still alive, blah, blah, blah. Your brother. And he's like, my brother? Oh! And apparently she had been doing a bunch of experiments and had created a creature from his genetic material and mixed with some sea creatures? Sea monsters?
Yeah,
It was very vague about it, but sea monsters had this special thing. And that
Hemocine?
Yeah, Hemocymon or Simon. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Something that only appears in sea creatures or something, and she wanted to get it for some reason. Who knows? But that's the plot of the movie, is that he goes up to his mother's old house where these experiments were going on to destroy the experiment, thinking he's going to find some old journals and like some test tubes to burn or something like that, and no big deal. But there are monsters.
It's such a big deal, guys.
Mm-hmm. And Crandall said at the beginning, as soon as the movie starts up, there's like, 8, 9 people that show up at this place. And they're like, load up the house so that they can get killed.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what this is. It's
that's
a
nice.
classic 80s horror movie where they're got some rubber monsters.
That's what I like to see.
And people getting murdered.
Yeah.
And you want a bunch of them there so you can kill a few of them off. And it's just great. So we got some good stuff. They actually do a thing where a person is... Cause it's the same thing in Friday the 13th. Where, like the early movies, where a couple people get killed off, but people don't know they get killed off, where he hides the bodies, so that you get to see some awful kills, and even get to see some monsters, but everyone else doesn't know what's involved yet. And then that means the movie gets to continue with everyone still going, oh, there's no monster. So in this case, somebody was killed in their car.
Okay, wait. If you're going to tell the story, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this one girl... and all these friends are coming up to help him. They're all friends of the son, and they're going to help him decide what should be destroyed. I don't even know. I
think they're basically just
they're all
like
kind
saying,
of scientists.
we'll clean out your mother's house. Basically.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your mom died, and we're going to clean out her house.
So one of the friends who came over, she had a giant watermelon, which she was going to give to her parents for their 35th anniversary or something.
Which is watermelon, apparently.
Anyway, some douchebag, he was like, I'm going to cut it up. And she's like, no. So she takes it away and puts it in the backyard or something on a table. And then
she puts it on top of the freezer. And we find out, it looks like it's in the backyard, but we later find out this is actually inside the house.
So from under the porch, where there's this, I don't know, look kind of like a black snaky, fingery type thing. Anyway, it
Classic 80s tentacle
goes
comes
into
out.
the pumpkin. I mean, not pumpkin,
Watermelon.
watermelon. So anyway, so then she decides she's got to go, probably to protect the pumpkin from the douchebag who wants to destroy it.
I think she's driving to her parents' house.
Exactly. So you have
Yes.
to unload it because no one can be trusted with this
Mhm.
precious watermelon. So she's driving in her car, the watermelon in the seat next to her, it starts to plop open or whatever. Maybe was it on the floor?
It was on the back seat.
Oh. Huh? Anyway.
It might have rolled to the floor at some point.
So anyway, it starts popping open. This, I don't know, kind of buggy sort of creature came out and grabbed her ankle and around her throat and her body, and then kind of put this tentacle things up under her skin, which was a really fun part of the movie.
It does. Like the tentacle goes up her nose, and you can see it going up over her forehead, and it's all like.
Yes.
And then a car accident.
Oh yeah, no, and then she like runs it off into a lake or something. So I think that monster may have drowned at that time.
Or that might be the smaller one. That
Now the
goes back
question
in.
is, why did the monster go into the watermelon? I don't know.
Yeah. Did he just want to?
He's like, ooh, watermelon.
Like, ooh, watermelon.
So
Nice.
you know that was a question, but I had enough fun watching the monster attack that I didn't
And yeah,
mind.
and you get to see some little rubber monsters, and it's got a little face, and it's like it looks like a little monkey baby. With
Yeah,
a bunch
but
of
like
tentacles coming out of its
yeah,
back.
it has like a I don't know crab-like sort of legs
Mm-hmm.
as well as normal human-y kind of legs.
They're very cute.
Yeah, they're
They're
super
adorable.
cute.
Like 80s rubber monsters are the best. You
Then-
guys could all go watch it. It's on YouTube because it actually isn't available on DVD right now. You can't find it anywhere. It was only available on VHS. I think it said there was an Australian version like 10, 20 years ago. And there are a couple of versions. There's one that is the original like rated R, and then there's an unrated version kicking around with a slight bit more gore. But we probably saw the rated R videotape version. And yeah. Let's go right into the numbers.
Oh my
I think we
lord!
got enough of it. We got
No, we usually do.
he goes up there and there's a monster and it turns out it's his brother. Did we talk about that yet? That the mother was like, "It's your brother,"
Mhm.
because she used genetic information from him, and so there's a little bit of that during the movie. But other than that, yeah, not too much going on. It's
What
a
about
classic. Like they slowly go, they kill the girl in the car, and then afterwards they don't even know that she got killed because they never mention it at all. And then later on, I think that's little creature returns and is the one that kills or attacks the guy.
Oh, I thought it drowned or something.
It could have, because there was a couple of little ones running around, and then there's the one big one that's Anthony.
What about the babies in the jars?
Mhm.
They were so cute.
But when you see the jars when they the scientists are on the house, there's one bad scientist. There's a subplot where there's a bad
lady scientist.
and a bad man scientist who she's working for, who
Yes.
worked with his mother before and sends this bad lady scientist there, which I think is all great. It's a great subplot.
Yeah.
And she finds a secret lab in the basement. For some reason, the guy never looks in the basement. And there's a
He's
couple
like,
of-
oh, it's just a laundry room.
it's just a laundry room.
It's like, what?
And there's a couple of, when she first goes in, there's a couple of broken jars, which explains why there's some smaller ones running around. And then I think that's the smaller one that jumps into the watermelon. It's kind of vague, the movie, because later on you see a large monster, who I think is the Anthony monster,
Yeah, I think that's
who is his
Anthony.
brother. So with that, we had to sort of piece it together as you go.
So wait, is the brother monster, Anthony, is he like a clone-ish type brother?
Yeah, I think
so
he's
so it's like his twin brother.
It's like a twin hybrid.
Yes.
And later on, when he gets killed, he tears off his like monster face, and then he looks
Yes.
like a human.
Yeah,
underneath,
yeah.
and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
"Ah."
yeah, but he's all covered in goo and stuff. You
Yes,
couldn't really...
exactly. But he looks more human and more like.
Well,
a
like,
guy.
no. He definitely was a
Mhm.
turn. I'm just saying you couldn't recognize him as that
Oh yeah.
other character and say,
100%.
"Oh, I see. That's
Oh yes.
definitely his DNA or whatever."
Mhm. Yes.
But it doesn't really matter.
But yeah, it's a classic '80s like rubber monster, like lots of squealing, and when she goes down, the bad scientist lady goes down into the basement and finds them, and she opens up that jar.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and you see a lot of like monster babies in jars, which is a great scene.
Who
And
doesn't
she
want to
unscrews
see?
the lid and pulls it off, and then it's
He
just
pops
sitting
up
there.
and he's like,
He
ah!
pops up and he's like, wah,
And I'm like, he's
wah, and
scared.
He's screwing it back on. And he does.
He's
The rubber
confused.
monster looks very scared and sad.
He's
And
like,
he screws
put
the
it back
cap
in his
back
tube.
on, and his little arm falls off.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my god, his little
That
arm.
was so funny.
You could not do that with CG. The whole
Oh.
time we're like, oh, this would not be half as nice in CG. You'd
Yes.
be like, you couldn't get this kind of charm, this kind of
Yeah.
wonder.
So, you know,
It's wonder.
come on.
Rubber monsters, it's where it's at.
Yeah.
Powers.
What powers does Anthony have? None? Like magical powers?
No.
Like that Riffer-Mycin stuff, but doesn't really do anything? Except turn that one girl into a sea monster?
Yeah, but
That's because she already had a pre-existing medical condition?
yes, the evil lady scientist, she turned out to be some kind of, she had the hemocyan disease or something, and then she kind of turned into
From handling it in the lab?
it did too much or something, and that's why she was working with the evil scientist man, because
He had a cure.
well, it wasn't a cure, but it
Yeah,
was like
medicine.
a treatment where she wouldn't turn into a sea creature and be in pain or I don't know.
But after being attacked by Anthony through a tentacle attack and got injected with the stuff or something, she became a full-on sea monster.
Yeah.
It was a great gory-ish scene.
It was fun.
It was fun. She was like, nah, nah, I'm all
She
ugly
gets
now.
gills
She's
all
like,
over.
remember when you kissed me? Nah.
Wah.
But no powers. No.
No,
so,
I don't think so.
I guess for scoring, a 0 for powers.
Yeah.
Nothing mysterious there.
0.
Bar fighting.
I mean,
Bar
Anthony
fighting.
was pretty big.
I mean, the whole time we're watching this movie, because now that we know our categories, and we're actually watching movies knowing what this podcast, I was just thinking, while he was flipping that car, bar fighting. I was like, there's one scene where somebody gets into a car, they're trying to get away, and Anthony is on top of the car, and then his
yes.
tentacle comes down, smashes the windscreen.
They get out of
guy's
the
like,
car,
"Ah."
and then I thought they got out of the car.
He did. He got out of the car, and then Anthony, with his big tentacles,
Yes,
flips
flipped the car.
over the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, bar fighting.
So
This guy
I mean,
is
that's-
a 10 at bar fighting, right?
well, we have to consider his weakness. He only how did they kill him? I remember they poured acid on his arm.
Well, yeah, borax or something like that, like some sort of industrial cleaner. But they killed him with electricity. And straight from the fuse box, so that would kill a human too. So I
mean,
wouldn't call that a weakness.
do you think he had like a crust of any sort that would stop a knife attack?
No.
So
No, I
if
don't
some,
think
well,
so.
but how many people have knives at bars? I guess it depends on where you're from.
Well, I thought for bar attack, for one thing, he can flip over a car, so he's strong.
Yeah.
But
And
not
he's
only
very
that,
big. He's very
He
big.
had his 2 little arms plus a bunch of tentacles.
Yeah.
So, if he could be like holding one guy by the neck, punching him in the face, and be using his tentacles to grab another guy and another guy.
And tickle him.
And yeah, flip him over like a car. He's no golem. He's not knocking down castle doors, but he tore through that rotten floor
Yeah.
and flipped over the car and lots of stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, that
An
sounds
8?
like I mean, we gave the Golem an 8. And I gave Frankenstein's monster an 8.
Oh, well.
So
He's not knocking down castle
I think
walls,
he's
but he
better.
flipped over a car.
He
Like,
could.
he's gotta be
I
8.
think he could.
I think he's 8 then. He's
So
got to be
I
an
think
8. He can't be higher than an 8.
I'm doing 9.
Better split the difference then.
If you can flip a car as easy as Anthony's flipped that car, you can smash through a castle door.
No, I'm going to give him an 8. So,
All right,
split the difference.
8 and a 9 makes 8.5. 8.5.
Weaknesses.
And I thought of one. Actually,
Okay.
this creature does have a weakness, like every true classic 80s monster. If you sing his lullaby...
Oh, that's right. I forgot
You
about that.
sing his lullaby.
The lullaby.
He will calm down and stop attacking.
The lullaby that I said it was called, I forgot the words because it's just da 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 da.
I was like, well,
yeah,
it's
it's
much
called,
better in
I
German.
forgot the words.
But it is like the mother used to sing this lullaby to the main character, the son, and she would also apparently sing it to this Anthony monster. to calm him down. So they use tapes of the lullaby that they hear,
Yeah.
they find in the house to calm him. So, but not it doesn't seem to kill him or anything. So
Yeah, he just
what?
kind of scuttles away. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would say that's like an 8 or a 9 on the weaknesses.
Okay, I'll go 8.
I mean, they have something to use against him, but it doesn't do that much.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna go 9. What do you say?
I'm gonna go with an 8.
Okay, so that's
It's
another
an 8 or 9, but since you said 9, I'll say 8 just to be, that guy. Make it split and do
8.5.
complicated math.
Another 8.5 for Anthony.
I mean, thank God there's something with a weakness.
Pack size.
This will be... we'll have to have a debate about this. Pack size,
What?
because the monster itself, Anthony, the main monster,
Yes.
just one.
Yes.
But we saw there was a lot of them in those jars also.
Wait. What about whatever? Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Remember at the beginning of the movie there were those mutant people in cages?
Yes. But that's that other scientist monster.
The bad scientist
That's
man.
not the Kindred monsters. That's his monster.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, there's 2 different scientists with 2 completely different kinds of monsters in this movie.
They were way more human-y. They were like,
yes, but they still had, suckers on their arms.
Yes.
To make them go, oh, well, they're sea
they were like,
monsters,
well,
too. They're both working on sea monsters of some kind.
Okay, so am I to count how many I think I saw in the movie?
Well, in pack size, it's just like, are we talking about Anthony or are we talking about all of the Kindred?
Well,
I did air quotes there.
It's under... It's under on the board. It says Anthony.
Yeah.
So if there's only one Anthony.
I know, but he did have a bunch of little buddies.
And those babies did.
And especially
kill.
near the end, we saw a giant pile of them that all escaped, and maybe they could
that's
eat
right.
one of them.
Yeah, there was like
that final scene where they're burning the house. You see,
all the babies are like, ah! They're like
it
going
looks
up against
there's
the window.
50 of them all. The windows going,
it's so cute.
So maybe each of them could have given enough time.
All right,
and grown to the size of Anthony.
I'm gonna say 10.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I gotta say, Anthony's
and
really.
Remember when that guy was
high.
in the basement and he was just picking up? He's like,
yes.
I'll go get the journals from the basement,
yes.
and then 8 of them attacked him.
Yep.
They're all up along the pipes.
So
yeah,
10.
Size
It's
10.
max. It's
maxed out.
Wait. Actually, wait a second. Should we give it 10? Because 10 means unlimited if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She's not creating anymore.
So we shouldn't count them individually. This
we don't
is
know
a
if
scale.
they're breeding, so 5.
It's a scale.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since they can't breed on their own, we only have what we have here. 5.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I forgot that it wasn't just an actual counting of the monsters. It was like a scale.
It's a scale. Yes.
Okay.
Because zombie horde.
5.
That's what we call it. 10.
You're right. Yeah. If something is infinite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Spookiness.
Yeah.
They're
Creepy?
very, very bad
Mm-hmm.
for spookiness. That they're gonna get a really good score. Spookiness.
I mean, they've got little
scary
tentacles, which tentacles aren't that scary, like they're overused, blah blah blah. But in this movie, they do it really well.
Yes, I wouldn't want that to be under my skin.
Yeah,
the way
especially
I saw
when it's going
that
up the
girl.
nose and up the head.
I like
face
the
and
one
stuff.
that kind of came. They're smashed into my weed carousel. This is Canada. It's legal.
It's legal.
I'm allowed to have a weed carousel.
Yeah, legal to
no
have a weed
question.
carousel.
Legal. Yeah, I liked it better when it was like coming in from like almost like with her ears as if it was going to give her a facelift. Have you ever watched a facelift? Because that's kind of what they do. They go into the skin and you can see their fingers. Like, oh, that's
and like
creepy.
that scene where you see her like pushing it back into the jar and you see all the little tentacles squiggling
and
it's
its
making
little
screamy
arm.
noise. Like even the noise it makes is very creepy. It's like when you're just hearing the tapes at the beginning when they're like, "What is she talking to?" and you can just hear it in the background.
Yeah.
It's very creepy. And their little faces are very creepy. It's a very high spookiness factor. Very high.
Yeah.
And they're like sea creatures, but they run around on the land perfectly fine. And they run on, like they're going underneath that scene where they're going underneath what is it called? Hay? Straw?
Yes.
In the barn?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's not like they can't go anywhere where you're just like, oh, they're not in the sea, so I'm safe. No. Definitely spooky.
Yeah, and when I think of the spookiness, I think of how vicious, and what it looks like. Like if I came across it.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh!
It's extremely spooky.
Yeah, it's right up there. It's just like,
I'd
it's
say
Pumpkinhead
it's
spooky.
I mean, I wouldn't. If I saw Anthony, an 8, 8.5.
Yeah,
like
because he's large.
8.
And he's got all those tentacles and all the weird stuff. And
Yeah,
he's
I'm
an 8.
saying 8. Oh, you're also agreeing?
I'm agreing with that.
Oh my God, we're agreeing.
I
so
got to
much
give
this
myself some room
episode.
to move because, It's not like there's fire coming out of him, and he's like, there's spirits
Well, that's the
coming out of
thing.
him and
Exactly.
stuff. You gotta
It's
have
like-
some room to move. But yeah, definitely an A.
Kill factor.
Finally,
Mm.
we're doing an 80s movie that is, well, Reanimator was an 80s movie, but this one is like full on gore. There's lots of stuff happening, but we only have one really gory kill.
Mhm.
Because we have that one gory thing where it's like attacking her with the tentacles in the car, and the tentacles are growing up her nose, and you're like, oh, gross.
It's so funny.
And then you have that one thing where the girl turns into a sea creature. But
Yes.
that's not actually caused by his attack. That's a pre-existing.
Yeah,
condition.
she had her
So
own
that's
problems.
not a cool kill. So and then the other one where like the tentacles go around people, but it gets in a bloody attack, but it's like no worse than getting stabbed or punched. So like the gore still isn't, it's not a really gory attack. So maybe a 2 or a 3.
Oh, come on.
Just for that nose face attack?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, when I'm watching a horror movie and gory stuff happens, usually it makes me laugh
Mhm.
because
Oh, 100%.
I think
it's
it's
not about
adorable.
being scary. It's about how gory
I'm
was
like,
it?
oh my
How
god,
good
it's
were the
so
effects?
cute.
I like, are there exploding heads?
So what did you say 4? 3?
I would say a 4.
Okay.
Now, if we're talking about overall gore for the movie, which we can't, I would say this is high because you get the little arm getting broken off and
Yeah.
like lots of other little things. But monster kills, gore, yeah, we'll go with that score.
I guess. Because it's not just gore, it's coolness as well.
It is gore / coolness.
So I'm gonna go 6 because I really did enjoy it. I laughed a lot. So
You're never going to see a tentacle go up the nose like that again.
it was so.
That is not good. And they
It
do
was
this
so
that
funny.
one part where the scene starts and the tentacle goes in her mouth, and you're like, oh, okay, like we've seen this. This is not impressive. But then it goes
Okay.
farther, and you're like, oh, okay, this is great. Good for you, not just phoning it in.
Yeah.
Next category.
Okay, Sean.
Oh, I think this is a pretty limited location.
This is limited. It's
Location. We
basically
should probably
her to
explain
laugh.
what these categories. What if this is someone's first
Mm.
episode? Could you imagine? Location.
But I will posit something.
Yeah.
That if any of these things escape, it was very
It could
close
go-
to the sea.
yeah.
Because it shows that girl swimming in the sea, and they are sea creatures. So after they get back into the sea, they can go anywhere from there.
Yes.
So
And they can definitely survive on land.
Mhm.
So that's not like they're not locked in. And they would kill you, randomly.
Yeah.
If they see you, they're gonna kill you.
Oh yeah,
I don't-
definitely.
I'm not sure why they hate people and they want to kill so much, but I guess that's
because
not.
they're not singing them a loving lullaby. That's why.
Well, I guess if we all knew about it and these things took over the ocean, it would just be a constant lullaby to keep them
But
off
once
the
again,
land.
they don't breed, so these are hybrids that are created. So there's not that many of them out there. So again, like Frankenstein could go anywhere. These guys could go anywhere, but not too scary. I give it a 3. It's a random 3.
I think it's like an 8
There you go.
because I
Boom.
don't feel safe. Like if I knew they were out there,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like they could be where I
So we'll
am,
split the difference between 3 and 8.
which is
5.5.
2.5. Yeah, 5.5. Boop boop boop.
Would you fuck it?
There's no way.
It's a 0.
There's
There's a
there's
0.
It has to be a
There
0.
is nothing sensual about this thing.
There is nothing sexual.
Nothing.
It's true. It's absolutely true. There's no, and it's not even because it's like, well, it doesn't have a penis. Well, so what?
Who cares?
It's not a. There's no way to have sex with
No,
it.
no. It's
And
it's
in a way that
horrible
it
and
is,
tacky thing.
yeah, it just wants to kill you. And I feel
Mhm.
like even if I
And even if
tied
didn't,
it down
was
or
just-
something,
just
what
seems
am
like
I
a small
gonna-
child where it's like, meh, meh, meh. It's always angry and blah blah blah.
yes, it's kind of a petulant monster, and
Mhm.
that is a boner killer.
It is.
Petulance is not an attractive trait.
Really pay attention. So kill factor or would you fuck it is a 0.
It's a 0.
It's a 0.
Has to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh. End of the categories. Lame parts and improvements. Actually, I think it was fine. I like this movie.
I know.
thought
I
it was
was.
just fine. I would like a little bit of clarification because there's that little monster that goes into the watermelon,
Yeah.
and then later on Anthony is quite big. So
Yes.
it needs to be a little clear that was not Anthony. Because, you know,
Yes.
they give a little hint that it wasn't Anthony because there's a broken jar in the basement at the beginning. You're like, that could have been a little one that escaped.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of broken jars. So you're like, okay, there could have been a couple of little ones running around, blah, blah, blah. But other than that, nah, it's fine. It's a cheesy 80s horror movie. You don't have to pick it apart too much. It's fine.
Yeah.
What would you do to improve
See, I've been trying to think of it. I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to be asked this question.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's not, but when you say, oh, I don't know, it cannot be improved, it's not because it's a perfect.
It certainly could. It certainly could if you wanted to, but there's nothing that absolutely has to be improved.
That's the thing. It's like, for what it is, it's good. It's fine. I don't know.
Like, I've seen it quite a few times, but never, like, actually sat down and go, no, I will study this movie. And even then, while I was, like, watching it again, knowing we were going to do the podcast, I was like, it's fine. It's okay. It's
yeah.
great. Like, there's enough characters there, and the characters are different enough that you're like, okay. When somebody dies, you're like, that guy died, not just, like, random guy number 4. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a fine movie. And
What
when you used to go to, like, video stores, it would be the case that you saw, and it has a baby bottle with a monster all jammed in it. You're like, okay, I'm going to rent that. And I'm going to watch it. And it's going to be great.
Now, would I watch it again? If it was around, I guess. If someone's like, hey, this Saturday afternoon and we're going to watch a movie while cleaning the room, I would absolutely put it on.
Yeah, and that's usually how I watch it. It's just like, literally, I'm doing something else. It's on YouTube. You're watching the Kindred. That's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what a lot of those 80s movies are anyway.
Yeah. So, how about this? How about you guys watch it and you tell us how it could be better?
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently for us, we don't have anything like that. We're like, yeah, it's fine.
There's nothing huge in the movie where I'm like, you know what? This is a real plot problem for me. I cannot deal with it.
I would like to know why that initial monster went into the watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
That is
know.
really weird.
There you go. That's how I can make it better.
Other than you get to have that, attack the girl in the car thing. But
I
other
know.
than that,
That's
yeah.
the thing. I want to know.
Like, show us that they love watermelons.
You know what? You're right. That's how we can make it better, okay? We can tell us more about the monster's motivations and desires.
And their watermelon love.
Yeah. I get it. Watermelon's yummy. But...
Final score.
Now, this is bizarre. I did not expect this.
All right. Total?
Total 40.5.
What?
It blows everyone else away.
Oh, okay. Let's hear the other people's scores.
From least to most.
Sure.
Okay. In fourth place. Maybe we should have revealed it this way.
Let's go. Yeah, no, we'll go fourth place.
All right.
For Frankenstein
Fourth
section.
place. In fourth place, in the Frankenstein's monster
Genre.
battle, is the Golem with 29 points.
Really? He's last?
He's
Dead
last.
Wow.
It
I did not
seems
expect him to be
like
dead last.
he fell down on the weakness score.
Oh.
He was
over the
significantly
Reanimates.
lower.
I thought Reanimates would be last, but okay.
All right.
Yes, you're right.
In third place, with 30.5, is the Reanimates. You're not shocked by that one?
I'm not. Well, now I know. I would have thought they were last, but now I know that they're third.
So in second place at 34 points is classic Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, Frankenstein. He did not win.
He did not win.
No.
It seems like the things that hurt him are pack size and kill factor.
But I mean, he's second. That's pretty good.
That's pretty
That's pretty good
good.
considering we've had a lot of time to work on Frankenstein type stuff after him.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, Anthony wins with 40.5. It seems like he won mostly because his spookiness was really overwhelming.
His spookiness
to
is
the other
fantastic.
ones.
80s movie spookiness.
Yeah.
And the thing is, his fuckability was 0.
0.
And he still pulled ahead.
Well, all of them were pretty. Golem was a 0. Reanimates were a 0.5. Frankenstein's monster got a 5, but that's because I gave him a 7.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, this is a very not that fuckable group.
Wow. So, for this section, Anthony is going to go up against Dracula,
It's
the
crazy.
Wolfman, and Creature from Black Lagoon, maybe, or something like that.
Well,
Who knows what
to be
the other one's going to be.
TBD.
But yeah, we're going to have to do Dracula because you have to do Dracula.
It sounds like you don't want to do Dracula.
Vampires.
Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta do vampires for
It's
4
gonna be
weeks.
rough. We have to do 4 weeks of vampires. Oh my god.
You're gonna love it.
Del Toro's gonna get involved. Maybe we'll just do episodes of his the Strain series or something like that.
As one of the monsters in the category. So
Yeah, maybe we'll do the Strain series or something like that. I'll make you watch it, and we'll go, oh, we can talk about the Strain. We're not gonna.
Oh no, I have to watch it.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I don't like vampires either. So tune in next time as we start to talk about a category of monsters that neither of us cares that much for.
Well, Dracula might not be next. We might do werewolves.
But you know
what?
what?
Lon Chaney Jr.
I'll tell you this.
Yes.
Even though maybe we don't really enjoy vampires or the concept of vampires, we will be fair to the vampires.
There are some good vampire movies out there.
And we will.
Vampire-ish movies.
Yeah, we will find. Well, he will find them. I'm not going to find anything.
Well,
but
we're gonna go and try to find the charm.
Yes.
In the original Universal Dracula movie, which there is some charm. The first talkie from Universal. So there'll be some fun to find in there.
Oh, don't blow your load.
Just,
I'm just trying to reassure people that we're not going to be biased against vampires and make sure that they're not.
We don't like vampires.
Yeah, come on. This is science.
Just
this
awful.
is a service for the people and for the future of humanity. People will go back to this
but I think
in
the
1,000 years.
Will probably be werewolves.
Sure. So come back next time.
And that was Monster Vault. And you're not going to agree with our scores because hey, they're scores. So tell me all about it, Instagram, and you can email us at spookyroompproductions@gmail.com. And I'm sure you'll tell us all about it. And if you're listening to this podcast, I guess we did finally put it out. It's going to be once every 2 weeks, I think we're deciding. This first block may land once a week just to get things going. And, rate, review on your podcast service. Reviews make everybody happy. They make us happy. Everyone will find out that we're out there.
Don't you want us to be happy?
Don't rate us if you're going to give us a 1.
Yeah.
That's
come on. What are you doing?
That's just cold, man.
Just
that's just cold.
Just move on. It's not for you.
Why do it? I want to make sure they don't get found by anyone else. It's not fun.
Just
you
be
can give us a bad review, but at least
give us a bad review, but put 5 stars.
5 stars on there. Yeah, exactly. Put 5 stars on there and say shit review.
You know what? That's gonna take it. So
like if
now...
your entire review is just shit review, 5 stars. Good. I'll take that. Awesome. Fantastic. That'll be great.
All right. I have nothing to say.
Most of all. And of course, go and check all this stuff out at spookyroompproductions.com. You'll see all the show notes, and we'll probably keep a leaderboard of some sort of what's going on with the monsters. Have fun! Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Why don't